Going into this autumn, I overlooked Shangri-La Frontier. So when I chose to do this video and not put the show in my quote-unquote watch list, I really did not want to watch it. But then I kept seeing gorgeous clips of the show, like one of the man-bird mowing down feline creatures. I decided to read the first volume of the manga. Dip my toe into it, if you will. This is how I usually like to tackle a series, by the way. After doing so, I was like, screw it, change of plans, I'm watching the show. But I plead you for your forgiveness on this confession I'm about to make. I am a weeb, and I like my games. Dabble in a bit of every genre, but I have not watched a full season of Sword Art Online. I was a Battle Shonen shithead back then, who would look at most anime like, oh, this isn't like Naruto or Bleach, they're way better than this. I'm just gonna do a repeat run on those instead. Yeah, I was that type of weeb. So not only did I want to try out a show that boasts to be with the likes of Sword Art Online without getting spoiled, this was another chance to prove that I've grown up from being that kind of mainstream nostalgia battle shonen fan. So Shangri-La Frontier, let's get down to it. The show centers around Rakuro. He's a high schooler who gets his rocks off playing terrible VR games. He's been given the title Trash Game Hunter. Since he's out of ideas on which game to play next, as the one he just beat might well be the worst game he's ever played, the store clerk suggests Shangri-La Frontier, which is the complete opposite of what he's used to, that being games that are top of the range Game of the Year quality. He takes her up on the suggestion, goes back to his room, starts up the game, and he immediately notices why this game has got so many good reviews. The customization range is crazy, and of all the things he could go for, he chooses this build, all for the sake of maneuverability and more rare item drops. And you know what? Fair play. He gets a set of rare weapons almost right off the bat. He realizes that dealing with trashy buggy games for so long led him to somewhat overestimate his own learning curve for the game. He managed to deal with his first real challenge easily enough, exploiting the critical hit mechanic before getting his first L. And this isn't no ordinary L where you lose and get sent back to the next checkpoint and try again. No, he's got an in-game curse that kinda screws him over, bar one effect that leads him to a unique scenario and drastically change what could have been the more conventional playthrough. I'm gonna come out and say this right now, the story is basic as it gets. There is no deeper meaning, none of that, at least not yet. Just about a boy who enjoys his games and wants to finish this particular great one that he picked up. But what it doesn't have in deep emotional investment, it makes up for it in overall entertainment, mostly the slapstick brain dead kind. Shangri-La Frontier represents why 14-year-olds and 40-year-old neckbeards alike play video games, because it's fucking fun. There are loads of games in different genres, but even users of the same open world RPG multiplayer game will have a slightly different experience to one another due to the sandbox environment. Some people go straight to the main quest, some people go to the nearest side quest. Some people will go straight to grinding and defeating enemies for items to sell or for raw materials to forge new gear. The web novel author Katarina recognized this, and I'm kinda intrigued how it's all gonna mesh together when the story so far is about whether or not the MC can beat this game. If you're expecting well-written personality traits from our characters, you'll be disappointed. As mentioned before, you got our main character Rakuro, who later gets a tag-along NPC whose super rarity has now painted a target on his back for other players. He is at some point due to bump into a girl from his school that secretly has a crush on him. Though her character's dressed down in what looks like some suspiciously rare gear right off the bat, I'm thinking pay to win if that's possible in this game. I wonder how that's going to sit with him when he finds out. The animation is what's carrying the show right now. Even when nothing is really happening, it still looks at least good. Maybe it's the slightly more saturated look that makes everything pop, but I just edit my own crappy videos, so what do I know? But the key moments? So good. It does the job in enticing you and gives you a chance to come to your own thoughts, or if you're like me and only want to use free brain cells while watching, you'll enjoy it regardless. But seriously, a show about VR gaming that displays a Game of the Year game quality with really good visuals? The logic is already there. So whether or not you've watched Sword Art Online but you're even a little bit of a gaming enthusiast, give this a shot. If you're not but like good action animation, you shouldn't sleep on this either. And that's where I'll end the video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, helps this video get seen. If not, leave a comment on what you think about the series or this video. Roll safe.